Prime Video is hiding some of the craziest sci-fi movies you've probably never heard of. And no, not the same 5 films every list repeats. These are 10 seriously underrated sci-fi movies buried deep in the algorithm. Dark, intense, and the kind that mess with your head long after the credits roll. We're talking time travel cops, apocalyptic viruses, killer creatures, underground bunkers, and one movie so intense it made me double-check my front door at night. Stick around for number 1, because almost nobody is talking about it. Let's go. Kicking things off with a true 90s sci-fi gem, Timecop. In this world, time travel isn't just science anymore. It's a business and a weapon. People jump into the past to rewrite history for money and power, and when that happens, a specialized unit is sent back to shut it down. Jean-Claude Van Damme plays one of these time cops, but things spiral quickly when a corrupt politician starts using time travel to lock in his rise to power. What really sets Timecop apart isn't just the action, it's the emotional hook. This isn't only about stopping criminals, it's about one man trying to undo the single moment that destroyed his life. The movie sticks to clear time travel rules, delivers solid action set pieces, and actually uses its sci-fi concept to tell a meaningful story. And if you miss practical effects, real stunts, and fully committed 90s sci-fi action, Timecop is absolutely worth watching. If you like slow-burn, thoughtful sci-fi like Blade Runner, Automata is one of those movies that makes you wonder, how did this fly under the radar? The world is dying, humanity hides behind fortified cities, and humanoid robots keep society running under 2 strict rules. They can't harm life, and they can't modify themselves. But when an insurance investigator starts probing a case where a robot may have broken protocol, he uncovers something far bigger: machines that might be evolving on their own. This isn't an action-heavy blockbuster. It's bleak, atmospheric, and quietly unsettling, with a constant tension between humans clinging to control and machines slowly outgrowing them. If you enjoy grounded, philosophical sci-fi that sticks with you, Automata is a hidden gem worth your time. Now we head to the edge of nowhere. Cold Skin takes place on a remote island in the middle of the ocean, where a weather observer arrives to take over a lonely post. The only other person there is a grizzled lighthouse keeper who clearly knows more than he's saying. And when night falls, the truth comes out. The island is under attack by amphibious creatures that surge out of the water in terrifying waves. At first, it feels like a simple monster on the island story, but the longer you stay there, the stranger it gets. The action is intense, the creature design is deeply unsettling, and the film slowly shifts from survival horror into something more disturbing, a story about fear, obsession, and what happens when you decide an entire species is the enemy. If you're looking for something pulpy, atmospheric, and a little messed up, Cold Skin is a perfect late-night watch. At number 7, we have The Girl with All the Gifts, a zombie movie that actually tries something new.
The world is falling apart. You can save people, Melanie.
A fungal infection has wiped out most of humanity, turning people into fast, savage hungries. But a small group of infected children are different. They can still think, learn, and feel. One of them is Melanie. She's kind, intelligent, and genuinely good-hearted with one small problem. She's also hungry for humans. When their base collapses, Melanie and a small group of survivors are forced to cross a ruined Britain, facing one brutal question along the way: what does saving humanity really mean? This film trades mindless action for emotion, philosophy, and a haunting, brutally logical ending. It feels like a mix of 28 Days Later and The Last of Us, but with its own powerful identity. If you're tired of generic zombie movies, this one will surprise you and probably stay in your head long after it ends. At number 6, we have Turbo Kid, easily the wildest movie on this list. Imagine Mad Max, but on BMX bikes with 80s synth music and full-on comic book gore. Set in a retro, post-apocalyptic future, it follows a lonely kid who finds a superpowered glove and suddenly becomes a DIY superhero. Alongside his overly cheerful friend, Apple, he ends up taking on a brutal warlord. Yes, it's ridiculous, it's extremely gory, and it absolutely knows what it's doing. Beneath all the neon blood and chaos, there's a surprisingly sweet coming-of-age story about friendship, courage, and hope. Turbo Kid doesn't try to be realistic. It embraces the madness and turns it into pure entertainment. If you love retro vibes, practical effects, 80s energy, and movies that feel like a lost VHS tape from another timeline, Turbo Kid is an absolute blast. And it sits right in the middle of the list. For a reason, it's your breather before things get darker. At number 5, we have Dark Skies, proof that aliens can be scarier than demons.
Sooner or later, when they're ready, they will take your family.
Instead of focusing on massive invasions or global destruction, this film keeps things intimate. It follows a normal family whose lives slowly begin to unravel as strange events start escalating inside their home. What makes Dark Skies so effective is its restraint. The tension builds gradually, the fear feels personal, and the movie understands that what you don't see is often far more terrifying than what you do. This isn't a loud sci-fi spectacle, it's a slow, creeping nightmare, and by the time the truth is finally revealed, it hits hard. The ending leaves you genuinely unsettled. If you like sci-fi that leans into pure dread rather than jump scares, this one absolutely deserves your attention. At number 4, we have The Host, an absolute banger that way too many people still haven't seen. Toxic chemicals are dumped into a river in South Korea. Years later, something comes out. The first attack scene is legendary, one of the best monster introductions ever put on screen. It's fast, messy, chaotic, and nobody is ready for it. In the middle of the panic, a young girl is taken by the creature. Her broken, dysfunctional family makes a decision right there and then. They're not waiting for the government. They're going to get her back themselves. That's where The Host really shines. It's funny one moment, heartbreaking the next, and suddenly terrifying. Beneath the monster movie surface, it's a sharp story about family, class divide, government failure, and what happens when ordinary people get crushed by a collapsing system. If you like Train to Busan or Parasite and somehow missed this one, fix that. This is sci-fi horror with real personality. At number 3, we have The Witch Subversion. And no, this isn't about broomsticks or cauldrons. It starts as a quiet mystery. A young girl escapes a secret facility and goes on to live a seemingly normal life with an adoptive family. Years later, she appears on a TV talent show, and that's when people from her past finally notice her. Then strangers start showing up. Some seem friendly at first, while others clearly aren't, and it becomes obvious that her past isn't done with her yet. The first half stays calm and unsettling. The second half flips the switch full-blown, superpowered carnage. Think Stranger Things if 11 was far more dangerous and completely done holding back. The movie delivers brutal fights, telekinetic chaos, sharp twists, and a main character who's clearly smarter than everyone around her. The slow burn buildup makes the final act hit like a truck, and by the time it ends, you'll immediately want the sequel. If you're looking for a dark, violent twist on the weaponized child story, this one absolutely delivers. At number 2, we have Pandorum, dark, claustrophobic, and absolutely relentless. The story unfolds aboard a massive spaceship drifting through deep space. 2 crew members wake up from hypersleep with no memory of who they are, what year it is, or what their mission was. The ship is decaying, most of the crew is gone, and something is clearly moving in the darkness. As they push deeper into the ship, 2 terrifying truths begin to surface. Something is hunting them, and a psychological condition called Pandorum causes severe space madness where paranoia sets in and you can't trust what you're seeing or even what you're thinking. This feels like Alien colliding with Dead Space. Tight corridors, grotesque creatures, constant dread, and a mystery that keeps expanding the further you go. It starts as a survival horror story, then slowly reveals something far more epic and far more disturbing than you expect. Pandorum blends raw survival horror with existential sci-fi, asking brutal questions about isolation, human nature, and what happens when civilization collapses light years away from Earth. It didn't get the love it deserved when it first released, but today it feels more relevant and more unsettling than ever. At number 1, we have 10 Cloverfield Lane, the best movie on this list, no question. After a car accident, Michelle wakes up in an underground bunker. Howard, the man who saved her, says the outside world has been destroyed, poisoned air, attacks, everyone dead. He might be telling the truth. He might be lying. Or he might be the only thing keeping her alive.
Is that how you thank me for saving your life?
Most of the film is just 3 people in a bunker, but every scene feels unsafe. Conversations play out like psychological chess, and you never know who to trust. John Goodman is terrifying and weirdly sympathetic at the same time, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays a protagonist who is smart, observant, and constantly testing what's real. The best part? Just when you think you finally understand what's going on, the movie flips everything. And when the sci-fi element finally kicks down the door in the last act, it pays off in a big way. This is a masterclass in tension, smart, claustrophobic, and impossible to forget. If you watch only one movie from this entire list, make it this one. These are the sci-fi movies Prime Video doesn't push, but absolutely should. If you enjoyed this list, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one are you watching tonight. And if you think I missed a hidden sci-fi gem, drop it below. I might just feature it in the next video. Because the best sci-fi isn't always trending. Sometimes it's just waiting to be discovered.